Sleeping Stories.
The Broken Mind of the Joker. A tale forged in madness. Vertical bar Loreforge. Sleeping Stories. Gotham never sleeps. But tonight, it holds its breath. Rain hammers the streets below. A single card tumbles through the void. Spinning. Falling. The Joker card catches what little light bleeds through the storm clouds. Face up. Face down. Face up. Again. Somewhere in the distance, a laugh echoes. Or maybe it was thunder. In this city, the difference stopped mattering years ago. The card lands in a puddle. The reflected face grins up at nothing, at everything. 3 words drift through the darkness like smoke. Why so serious? Everything goes black. Before the laughter, there was silence. Before the smile, there was something else. Someone else. Or maybe there were 3 others. This is where the story gets interesting. Batman has faced the Joker hundreds of times. Fought him, captured him, watched him escape. Over and over, like a twisted merry-go-round that never stops spinning. But deep in the Batcave, something kept nagging at the dark night. The Mobius chair. A cosmic artifact that answers any question with absolute truth. Batman asked one simple thing. What is the Joker's real name? The chair gave him 3 names. 3 different identities. 3 separate men who all became the same nightmare. How is that possible? Welcome to the rabbit hole. The first Joker was the criminal. This one came first in the timeline, stretching back to Gotham's earliest days of corruption. A gangster, a planner, a man who understood that crime was just business with bullets. He wore the purple suit like armor. Every heist was calculated. Every move had purpose. This Joker built an empire in the shadows while Gotham slept. When Batman first appeared, this criminal saw an opportunity. A game worth playing. But this version was cold, methodical. The jokes were just window dressing for something far more dangerous. The second Joker was the clown. This one loved the performance, the spectacle, the grand stage that Gotham provided. Where the criminal saw profit, the clown saw art. Every crime was a masterpiece waiting to be painted in chaos. This version gave us the iconic moments, the laughing gas, the deadly toys, the elaborate death traps that seemed ripped from a funhouse nightmare. This Joker wanted Batman to laugh, to finally get the joke, to understand that all of this pageantry and heroism was just another performance. And the audience was dying to see how it ended. The third Joker was the comedian, the most dangerous of them all. This one understood something the others missed. The universe itself is a joke. Reality is just a setup for an endless punchline that nobody gets. This Joker was not interested in money or fame. He wanted to prove a point, that sanity is just a thin mask we all wear. That one bad day can turn a hero into a monster. That the difference between Batman and Joker is one chemical vat, one bullet, one wrong turn in a dark alley. This comedian orchestrated the worst moments in Batman history. The paralysis of Barbara Gordon, the torture of Commissioner Gordon, the murder of Jason Todd. Each act is designed to break the Bat, to make him cross the line, to make him kill. Because if Batman kills, then the comedian wins. The joke is complete. Now here is where your mind should be spinning. If there are 3 Jokers, how did this happen? Were they always separate? Did one inspire the others? Is there some cosmic force that creates Jokers like the universe creates stars? Or is the truth even stranger? Some believe the Ace Chemicals incident created a quantum split. One man went into the vat. 3 possibilities came out. Each one represents a different aspect of madness. The ID, the ego, the chaos itself. Others think Joker is like a virus, an idea that infects whoever is ready to let go, to stop pretending the world makes sense, to embrace the beautiful insanity of existence. Maybe there were always people in Gotham waiting to become Joker, and the chemicals just gave them permission. The scariest theory is the simplest. What if they are all the same person? What if Joker reinvents himself so completely each time that even he believes the new origin story? What if his greatest power is not the toxins or the schemes, but the ability to rewrite his own history, to become whoever the story needs him to be? 3 faces, 3 origins, 1 eternal punchline. Mirrors shatter in sequence, each reflection showing a different grin. Which one is real? The answer whispers back through the broken glass. All of them. None of them. Does it even matter? The card is already falling, and Gotham is already laughing. Every monster has a birthday, a moment when the person dies and something else is born. For Joker, that moment was supposed to be a Tuesday. Just another gray Tuesday in Gotham. Let me tell you about Jack Napier. Or was it Jack White? Maybe Jack Oswald. The name does not matter, because soon there would be no name at all. Just a smile. Jack was a comedian. Not a good one. He stood on stages in clubs that smelled like stale beer and broken dreams. He told jokes to crowds that did not laugh. Every night, the same routine. Every night, the same silence. His wife Jeannie was pregnant, 7 months along. They lived in a 1-room apartment where the heating barely worked, where the walls were so thin you could hear the neighbors fighting, where hope went to die quietly. Jack needed money. His comedy was not paying bills. His wife needed a doctor. The baby would need everything. So when 2 men in cheap suits knocked on his door, he listened. They had a job, an easy job, they said. Just walk through a chemical plant, lead them to the side entrance, let them grab some items. Nobody gets hurt. Jack knew it was wrong, but wrong has a price tag, and desperation makes mathematicians of us all. The night before the heist, Janie told him the baby kicked. She smiled when she said it. That smile haunted him later, because 12 hours before the job, 2 cops showed up at the comedy club. There was an accident, an electrical fire. Jeannie and the baby were gone. Just like that, the universe delivered its first punchline. Jack stood there in his cheap suit, holding a joke notebook. Everything he was supposed to become just evaporated. The smart move was to run, to disappear. But the men in cheap suits found him anyway. They told him the job was happening with or without him. And now he had a choice. Do it, or they make sure the cops know he was involved in planning it. What did it matter anyway? His wife was dead. His child was dead. The whole world was a stage, and the curtain just fell. So Jack put on the Red Hood, a ridiculous helmet with a dome that reflected light like a blood mirror. The gang always made the new guy wear it. A target, a distraction. If things went wrong, the Red Hood took the fall. Jack walked through Ace Chemicals like a ghost. The facility processed industrial compounds, toxins, bleaching agents, chemical cocktails that could strip flesh from bone. The vats bubbled below. 30 feet of swirling green death. The heist went sideways immediately. Batman appeared. Of course he did. The other criminals scattered like roaches when the light hit. But Jack was wearing the red hood. Batman came straight for him. Jack ran. Not because he wanted to live, but because running was the only thing his body knew to do. The catwalk was narrow, metal grating that rang with each footstep. Behind him, the dark night closed distance. Ahead of him, nothing but railing and the vat below. Jack reached the end. Nowhere left to go. Batman extended a hand, trying to help, always trying to save people. But Jack saw that hand, and something snapped. This creature is dressed as a bat, the symbol of a city that took everything. This hero who gets to choose who lives and dies. Jack laughed. It was not funny. Nothing was funny, but the laugh came anyway. And then he jumped. The fall took forever. Long enough to think about Jeannie. Long enough to remember the baby that would never be born. Long enough to realize the universe had been telling a joke all along. And he was the punchline. The chemicals swallowed him whole. Acid burned through skin. Bleach stripped away pigment. Industrial waste rewired neurons. Pain beyond description. Death would have been mercy. But mercy was not on the menu tonight. Jack Napier drowned in that vat. His lungs filled with poison. His mind shattered like glass. Everything he did was dissolved. But something else surfaced. Something that understood the cosmic joke. When he pulled himself from the water, his skin was bone white. His hair was green like toxic moss. His lips were red like fresh wounds. And he was smiling. Not because he wanted to. The chemicals locked his face in a permanent grin. The universe had turned him into its own sick punchline. A walking joke that nobody asked for. Jack found a mirror in the facility. Saw what he had become. And he laughed. I really laughed this time. Because finally he got it. One bad day. That is all it takes. One bad day to prove that sanity is just a story we tell ourselves. One bad day to fall from human to something else entirely. The comedian died from those chemicals. The clown prince was born, and Gotham would never stop laughing. Let us talk about what actually happened in that vat. Because the transformation was not just physical, it was something far stranger. Scientists have tried to analyze Joker for decades. Doctors, psychologists, geneticists. Everyone wants to understand how one man becomes walking chaos. The chemicals should have killed him. The concentration of bleaching agents alone would dissolve organic tissue. The industrial acids would liquefy bone. The neural toxins would shut down brain function in seconds. But Jack Napier survived. More than survived. He evolved. His skin did not just turn white. It became something else entirely. Pigmentation stripped down to the cellular level. But the tissue remained healthy. Thriving even. Some theorize the chemicals created a new type of biological structure. Cells that regenerate faster than they die. A body that exists in constant transformation. Never quite alive in the way we understand life. Never quite dead either. The green hair was not dyed. It grew that way. Follicles, mutated by the chemical bath, producing pigments that should not exist in human biology. Every strand is a little monument to impossibility. The smile is the worst part. Facial muscles locked in permanent contraction. Nerve damage that makes neutral expression impossible. He cannot stop smiling. Even when he cries, the grin remains. A mask he can never remove because it is his face now. But the physical changes were just the surface. The real transformation happened in his mind. Imagine your brain is a city. Neat streets, organized districts, everything in its place. Now imagine a flood of chemicals rewriting every map, moving buildings, erasing roads, creating new pathways that should not exist. That is what happened to Jack Napier. The chemicals did not make him crazy. They made him free. Grant Morrison called it super sanity, the ability to recreate yourself with each moment. No fixed identity, no permanent personality, just constant reinvention based on what the story needs. Most people are trapped by their sense of self, by the narrative they tell about who they are. Joker has no such limitations. He is whatever he needs to be: comedian, gangster, artist, philosopher, monster. All of them, none of them. Each version is as real as the last. His memory became fluid. He remembers his origin differently each time. Sometimes he had a wife. Sometimes he was always alone. Sometimes he fell. Sometimes he jumped. Sometimes he was pushed. The truth shifts like sand, and he prefers it that way. Multiple choice past for a multiple choice present. The chemicals also did something to his pain receptors. Nerve damage so complete that physical suffering barely registers. Batman can break his bones. Joker laughs. Police can shoot him. He giggles through the blood loss. Pain became just another sensation, no more important than pleasure or boredom. This makes him nearly impossible to interrogate. Torture does not work on someone who finds agony hilarious. But here's the strangest part. Some researchers believe Joker is technically dead, that he died from those chemicals. What emerged was something wearing his meat suit, a ghost animating a corpse, a punchline that refuses to end. There are documented cases of Joker surviving things that should kill him: falls from buildings, gunshots to vital organs. Was nowhere singt all thou, Browner, burning. Each time he comes back, sometimes with scars, sometimes without, as if reality itself cannot decide how to handle him. The Dionysium theory suggests he found a chemical that grants immortality, a substance hidden in Gotham since ancient times. That would explain how a Joker existed before Batman. How the Pale Man of Gotham appears in photographs from the 1800s. The same smile, the same eyes, the same chaos. Maybe Jack Napier just became the latest host, the newest face for an ancient force. Or maybe the chemicals created something entirely new, a being that exists between states, living and dead, sane and insane, human and other. Schrodinger's villain, both real and metaphor at the same time. What if falling into those chemicals did not break Jack Napier? What if it freed him from the burden of being human, from the weight of caring about consequences, from the prison of meaning? The chemicals did not create the Joker. They revealed him, stripped away all the lies we tell ourselves about order and purpose, left only the raw truth. That existence is random, that suffering is arbitrary, that the universe has no punchline, because the universe is the punchline. And somewhere in Gotham, a man with green hair understands this better than anyone. He wears his scars like medals. His madness is like a crown, and every time someone asks why he does what he does, he just smiles that permanent smile. And Stain whispers the only truth that matters. Why so serious? Society is built on a beautiful lie. Those things make sense, that there is order in the chaos, that good people win and bad people lose. Joker sees through this lie like glass, and he wants everyone else to see it too, even if he has to carve their eyelids open. To understand Joker, you have to understand what he believes, not what he says. what he actually believes in the twisted cathedral of his mind. He thinks civilization is a performance, an elaborate show where everyone pretends to be something they are not. We pretend we are good. We pretend we care about rules. We pretend that morality matters. But underneath those masks, we are all one bad day away from becoming him. Every crime Joker commits is designed to prove this point. He does not rob banks for money. He robs them to show that greed lives in everyone. He does not kill randomly. He kills to reveal the randomness already there. Each act of violence is a thesis statement, a bloody footnote in his argument against meaning. Look at his most famous crimes, not as acts of evil, but as performance art. He took over a television station once, held the city hostage with poisoned cosmetics, told everyone watching that they might already be dead. The poison was in their makeup, their shampoo, their toothpaste, things they used every day without thinking. Trust converted to terror with one broadcast. The message was clear. Safety is an illusion. You put chemicals on your face every morning. How do you know they are not killing you? How do you know anything is safe? Another time, he released his toxin in a courtroom, made everyone laugh themselves to death. Jury, judge, defendant, spectators, all of them dying with smiles. The trial was about a man who killed his family. Justice was supposed to happen that day. Instead, Joker showed that justice is just another joke. Everyone dies the same. Guilty, innocent, does not matter. The universe does not check credentials before the end comes. He flooded Gotham with fake money once. Perfect counterfeit bills, indistinguishable from real currency. Within hours, the economy collapsed. Because money only has value if we believe it does. Joker proved that belief is just mass delusion. That we trade paper for food because we all agree to pretend the paper matters. Stop pretending, and the whole system falls apart. Every scheme attacks a different pillar of civilization. Economics, justice, safety, trust. He chips away at the foundations, trying to bring the whole temple down, so people can see what he sees. That we built our cities on quicksand. That order is just chaos with good lighting. But here is what makes Joker truly dangerous. He is not wrong. Not entirely. Society does run on agreed upon fictions. Laws only work because we enforce them. Money only works because we believe in it. Morality shifts depending on who writes the rules. Joker takes these observations and twists them, pushes them to their logical extreme. If meaning is subjective, then nothing means anything. If rules are made up, then breaking them is just playing a different game. If we are all pretending, then the honest man is the one who stops pretending, the one who embraces the void. He looks at Gotham and sees a city of liars. People who claim to be good while stepping on each other. Heroes who dress in costumes and call it justice. Villains who dress in suits and call it business. Everyone is wearing masks. Everyone plays roles. So Joker made himself the most honest person in Gotham. He wears his madness on his face, makes no excuses for what he is, never pretends his actions serve some higher purpose. He just wants to watch it all burn. And he wants you to admit you want that too. Deep down in the part of yourself you do not talk about, the part that gets angry in traffic, the part that imagines revenge, the part that wonders what it would feel like to just stop caring. Joker lives in that part, and he is always whispering. One push is all it takes. One bad day. One moment where you stop pretending. and the joke reveals itself. He is at Mengdusu. You were never that different from him. You just had better luck, better circumstances, a thicker mask. But strip away the comfort and safety. Take away your loved ones, your money, your hope. What is left? Joker already knows the answer, because he lived it. And now he spends every day trying to share the punchline, whether Gotham wants to hear it or not. Chaos theory teaches that small changes create massive effects. A butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil. A hurricane forms in Texas. Joker is that butterfly. Every crime sends ripples through reality, creating waves that crash long after he is back in Arkham. He does not need to destroy Gotham himself. He just needs to push it. Watch it destroy itself. Prove that civilization was always one trigger pull away from collapse. And the scariest part, sometimes he is right. Sometimes Gotham does eat itself. Sometimes good people do become monsters. Sometimes the center cannot hold. Joker does not create darkness. He just turns on the lights. Shows everyone what was already there. Laughing all the while. Because to him, this is the greatest joke ever told. And the punchline is still coming. Every religion has its sacred texts. Joker has his own gospel, written in blood, signed with screams. These are not random murders. These are lessons. Each death is carefully chosen. Each victim sends a message to Batman. Let me tell you about Jason Todd, the second Robin, a kid from the streets, angry, reckless, brave. Batman took him in, gave him a cape, gave him purpose. Joker gave him a crowbar. It happened in Ethiopia, a warehouse filled with nothing but time running out. Jason went looking for his mother, found Joker instead. The beating lasted 18 minutes. Every swing of the crowbar is deliberate, not trying to kill quickly, trying to break, to shatter. To show Batman what hope looks like when it bleeds. Joker left a bomb, left Jason tied up, left just enough time for the boy to be afraid. The explosion lit up the desert sky. Batman arrived seconds too late, always seconds too late. He pulled a broken child from the rubble. Jason died in his arms, smiling, because the Joker toxin was still in his system, dying with a grin he did not choose. Just like Joker. The lesson was simple. You cannot save them all. You cannot protect everyone. Love is just a target you paint on people. And Joker always aims for the heart. But death was not enough. Years later, Jason came back, resurrected by forces beyond understanding. But he came back wrong, angry at Batman for not killing Joker, for choosing principle over revenge, for letting the monster live. Joker did not just kill the boy. He killed what the boy could have been, replaced it with something broken. A lesson that keeps teaching long after the body goes cold. Then there was Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, Batgirl. A hero in her own right, brilliant, capable, strong. Joker showed up at her apartment one night, knocked on the door like a salesman. She answered. He shot her through the spine, point blank. No warning, no speech, no grand gesture, just a bullet and a flash. Barbara fell. Her father was visiting that night. Joker stripped her, took photographs, dragged Commissioner Gordon to an abandoned amusement park, tied him to a roller coaster, forced him to look at pictures of his bleeding daughter, over and over, while carnival music screamed through broken speakers. The goal was not to kill Barbara. The goal was to break her father, to prove that one bad day turns anyone into Joker, that sanity is 3 inches of steel away from shattering. Look at what I did to your daughter. Look at her blood. Look at her pain. Now laugh. Laugh or go mad. Choose. But Gordon did not break. He looked at those photos, felt his heart tear apart, and still told Batman to bring Joker in by the book. No killing, no revenge, just justice. The lesson failed, or maybe it succeeded in a different way. Because Barbara never walked again. She became Oracle instead, reinvented herself from the wheelchair, became even more essential to the hero community. But something was taken that night, something that can never be returned. Joker stole her body's future, left her trapped in a prison of flesh, a reminder that heroes bleed like everyone else. Sarah Essen Gordon was different. She was not a hero, just a good cop, Commissioner Gordon's second wife, a woman trying to make Gotham better one day at a time. During No Man's Land, Gotham fell apart. Earthquake, chaos, government abandonment. The city became a war zone. Joker kidnapped babies from the hospital. Dozens of infants. Lined them up like chess pieces. Told Gordon he could save them if he played the game right. Sarah found them first. Found Joker holding a dead infant. Already too late for some. She pulled her gun. Standard police issue. Nothing special about it. Joker smiled, dared her to shoot. She did. Pulled the trigger, without hesitation. The bullet hit him in the chest. He staggered, but did not fall. Just laughed, and returned fire. Sarah dropped, dead before she hit the ground. Gordon arrived to find his wife in the rubble. The babies were saved. The price paid. This lesson was the cruelest. You can win and still lose. You can save everyone except the person who matters most. The joke is that there is always a cost. Always something taken. Always another laugh waiting in the darkness. Each murder was poetry in motion. Each death a verse in Joker's twisted scripture. He does not kill randomly. He kills with purpose, with meaning, with a message carved into every victim. Look at what your heroism costs. Look at the bodies stacking up. Look at everyone you love, becoming a target. Is it worth it? Is Gotham worth this price? Is your moral code worth their lives? Batman never answers. Just add another name to the list. Another face he sees when he closes his eyes. Another ghost in the cave. Joker keeps teaching. Batman keeps learning. But the lesson never changes. Everyone you love will be used against you. Everyone you save creates another vulnerability. Being a hero means painting targets on everyone close to you. And Joker has perfect aim. The Gospel according to the Clown Prince. Written in the blood of the innocent. Bound in trauma and grief. A holy text of horror that Batman reads every night, whether he wants to or not. Love makes fools of everyone, but some fools fall further than others. Let me tell you about Harleen Quinzel. Before the red and black, before the hammer and the madness, before she became Harlequin, she was brilliant. Top of her class at Gotham University. Psychology major, with a focus on criminal pathology. Driven, ambitious, smart enough to see through anyone. Or so she thought. She wanted to make a name for herself. Publish papers, write books, be remembered. Arkham Asylum offered the perfect opportunity. A building full of case studies. Minds are broken in fascinating ways. She applied for an internship. We got accepted immediately. They always need fresh blood at Arkham. Fresh hope. Fresh souls to be eaten by the darkness. Harleen started with standard patients. Mild cases. Depression. Anxiety disorders. Building her confidence. Learning the systems. Then she requested something bigger. Someone famous. Someone who would make her career. They gave her the Joker. The first session started like any other. Sterile room. Reinforced glass. Armed guards outside. Joker sat in restraints, smiling that permanent smile, looking at her like he could see through skin. She introduced herself. Professional, detached, clinical. He said nothing for 20 minutes, just stared. Then he spoke. "Tell me, doctor, what are you really afraid of?" She brushed it off, redirected, asked about his childhood. Standard intake questions. He laughed. "You want to fix me? Like I am broken? Like madness is something that needs curing? What if I am the cure, and everyone else is sick?" She made notes. Grandiose delusions. Narcissistic tendencies. Everything by the book. But something in his words stuck. It burrowed into her thoughts. What if he was right? Session 2 went differently. He asked about her father. She said that was not relevant. He asked about her dreams. She said they were discussing him, not her. He asked why she wore her hair in pigtails sometimes. She froze. The min simple standard is send. Simbabatel and that you knew. He smiled wider. "I can see who you are, doctor. Under the professional costume, under the degrees and the confidence, I see the little girl who never felt good enough, who tried so hard to be perfect, who thought achievement would fill the void. It will not." She ended the session early, went home. I looked in the mirror, hated that his words felt true. Session 3, she came back angry, determined to prove him wrong, to break through his defenses, to show him she was in control. He welcomed her like an old friend, asked about her childhood. She found herself answering, talking about her parents, her pressure to succeed, her loneliness at the top. He listened, really listened, not like the other doctors who just waited to speak. He heard her, reflected her back to herself, made her feel seen for the first time in years. That is when the hook went in, not in her mind, in her heart. By session 7 she was sharing things she never told anyone. Her fears, her doubts, her secret anger at the world. He normalized everything, made her feel like her darkness was natural, beautiful, even. You are not crazy for feeling that way. You are honest. Everyone else lies, pretends to be happy. You see the truth, just like me. She started looking forward to sessions, started thinking about him between appointments, started wondering what he thought of her. Stockholm Syndrome, they would call it later, but it felt like a connection, like finally being understood. Session 15, he told her a story about his wife who died, his unborn child, the comedy that no one laughed at. He cried, real tears down that white face. The smile never left, but the tears were real. She reached through the glass, put her hand against it. He matched her hand on his side, connected by inches of reinforced barrier. I see you, Harleen. The real you, not the doctor, the woman underneath. And she is magnificent. Her heart was beating in her ears. This was wrong. This was against every rule. This was unethical, dangerous, insane. But it felt more real than anything in her life. Session 20, she brought him a flower, smuggled it in her bag, laid it on the table between them. He looked at it like it was made of starlight. For me, his voice is soft, almost childlike. No one has given me something beautiful in so long. She smiled, started wearing brighter colors to sessions, started doing her makeup differently. Red lips, dark eyes, like war paint, like a promise. Session 30, he asked her to help him. Said the orderlies were abusing him. Said he was being mistreated. Said she was the only one who cared. The only one who could save him. She believed him. Started filing complaints. Started investigating. Started becoming his advocate. His champion. The other doctors noticed. Warned her. She was getting too close. Too attached. Too compromised. She ignored them. They did not understand. They never sat with him. Never heard his story. Never felt what she felt. True connection. True understanding. True love. Session 43. She realized something. She was not treating him anymore. She was not his doctor. She was his accomplice. His believer. His Harley Quinn. The name he gave her in whispers. My Harlequin. My beautiful fool. My queen of diamonds. She helped him escape. Smuggled in tools. Disabled cameras. Created distractions. Watched him walk out of Arkham. Then followed. Left behind her degree. Her career. Her name. Her sanity. For him. Always for him. Dr. Harleen Quinzel died that night. Not with violence or ceremony. Just faded away like morning fog. Replaced by something new. Something broken. Something free. Harley Quinn was born in the space between therapy and devotion. In the gap between doctor and patient. In the moment when love became madness, and madness became love. Her heart beat in sync with his laughter. Thump, giggle. Thump, giggle, thump. A rhythm she would chase for years. Through abuse, through pain, through moments of clarity. Always coming back. Always hoping this time would be different. Always believing in the man under the monster. The Joker did not just create a sidekick. He created a mirror. Someone to reflect his madness back at him. Someone to validate his worldview. Someone to love him, despite everything. Or maybe because of everything. Harleen fell into his orbit, like a comet caught by gravity. Burning, beautiful, doomed. And she fell smiling. This is not a love story. Or maybe it is. Just not the kind anyone wants to tell. Joker and Harley. The king and queen of broken hearts. Their relationship rewrote the rules of toxic. He needed someone to witness his genius. She needed someone to need her. It should not have worked. It definitely should not have lasted. But trauma has gravity, and they orbited each other for years. The first heist they pulled together was a jewelry store. Simple, clean, almost romantic. He stole diamonds. She stole his heart, or he let her think she did. Hard to tell with him. They danced through Gotham, leaving chaos like rose petals. She laughed at his jokes, even the ones that were not funny, especially those. He called her beautiful. When he remembered, when it served his purpose, she lived for those moments, collected them like precious stones. Ignored everything in between. The abuse started small. A harsh word here, a dismissive gesture there. She told herself he was stressed. The Batman was always chasing them. The plans were always falling apart. He did not mean it. He loved her. She knew he did. Then came the first time he hit her. Hard enough to bruise. Not hard enough to break. Not yet. He apologized after, sort of, in his way. You know I get carried away, Hall. You know how I am. You are the only one who understands." She forgave him, wore the bruise like a badge, covered it with makeup, told herself every relationship has problems. The hits became routine, expected, part of the dance. She learned when to duck, when to laugh it off. When it disappears for a few days, let him cool down. Come back when he needed her again. Always came back. Poison Ivy tried to intervene. Pamela Isley saw what Harley could not, or would not. Told her this was not love. This was destruction. Harley defended him. "You do not know him like I do. He needs me. I am the only one who gets him." Ivy shook her head, knew that words would not work. Harley had to see it herself. I had to feel it enough times. Had to break before she could rebuild. Their greatest heist was City Hall. Took over the mayor's office. Held the city hostage for 72 hours. I demanded nothing. Just wanted to prove they could. Harley planned it. Executed it flawlessly. Joker took the credit. Basked in the attention. She stood beside him, smiling, happy to be in his shadow, grateful for the scraps of recognition. He kissed her on live television, a show for the cameras, a performance, but she felt it in her toes, believed it in her bones. This was real. This was love. This was worth everything. Then Batman crashed through the windows. The fight was brutal. Joker used Harley as a shield, threw her at the dark night, used her body to buy himself time. She broke 3 ribs, fractured her wrist. He escaped without looking back. She was arrested alone, sent to Arkham alone, waited for him to break her out. He never came. Moved on to the next scheme, the next joke. She was not part of the punchline anymore. Months later, he showed up at her cell, flowers in hand, that smile gleaming. "I missed you, Puddin'," and she melted. Forgot the abandonment, forgot the pain, forgot everything except that he came back. He always comes back. The cycle repeated. Love, violence, abandonment, return, over and over, like a broken record. She tried to leave twice, really leave. Moved to Coney Island, changed her name, got a job, an apartment, a normal life. Lasted 6 weeks. He found her, or she found him. Details blur when addiction is involved, and she was addicted to him, to the chaos, to feel needed, to the highs that made the lows worth surviving. Then came the baby. In one timeline, one universe, one possibility. Harley got pregnant. His child is growing inside her. She was terrified, also hopeful. Maybe this would change things. Maybe he would settle down. Maybe they could be a family. She told him at dinner. A rare, quiet moment. Candlelight. Stolen food. Almost normal. "I am pregnant." He stared at her. That smile never moves. "Get rid of it." 3 words like bullets. She felt something die inside. Not the baby. Not yet. Something else. The fantasy she had been nurturing. The hope that he could be different. Be better. Be human. She kept the baby a secret after that, hiding the pregnancy. "I planned to leave. Give the child a chance." But Joker found out. Always finds out. Pushed her down the stairs. Caused a miscarriage. I laughed about it later. Kids ruin everything, Harl. We are better off. Just you and me. Forever. She stayed. Even after that. Stayed and smiled. And hated herself. And loved him. And could not tell the difference anymore. Pamela finally intervened, used her plant toxins, gave Harley immunity to Joker's chemicals, to his pheromones, to his psychological hold. It broke the spell. Not completely, never completely, but enough. Harley left for real that time, joined a suicide squad, found a new purpose, new friends, new reasons to live. But she still thought about him, still wore the red and black, still called herself Quinn, still carried him like shrapnel, pieces embedded too deep to remove. Their romance was a warning, written in scars and psychiatric reports. Love is not supposed to leave bruises. Connection is not supposed to hurt. But sometimes we confuse intensity for intimacy, chaos for chemistry, need for devotion. Harley learned the difference, eventually. But the lesson cost her everything. Her career, her sanity, her child, herself. She rebuilt from the ruins, became a hero in her own right, an anti-hero at least. Found her own voice, her own power, her own laugh. But on quiet nights, she still hears his voice. My Harley Quinn, my beautiful fool, my queen. And part of her, the broken part that never quite healed. I still love him. I still miss him. Still wonders if maybe. She shakes it off. I know better now. But trauma does not follow logic. And first loves die hard, even when they should stay dead. Especially then. Here is the secret nobody wants to admit. Batman and Joker need each other, like lungs need air. They are two halves of the same broken coin. One cannot exist without the other, and they both know it. Every hero needs a villain. But this goes deeper than that. This is about identity itself, about purpose, about two men who define themselves by their opposition. Think about who Batman was before Joker. A vigilante fighting mob bosses and corrupt cops, dangerous but predictable enemies, men motivated by greed and power, simple to understand, easy to stop. Then, Joker showed up and changed everything. Suddenly, Batman was not just fighting crime, he was fighting chaos itself, an enemy with no pattern, no motive that made sense, no way to predict or prevent. Joker pushed Batman to evolve, to think differently, to prepare for the impossible. Every contingency plan in the Batcave exists because of Joker. Every backup system, every paranoid preparation, all of it, born from one simple truth. The Clown Prince can and will do anything. But here is where it gets twisted. Some believe Joker created Batman, not the other way around, that the chemicals did not just birth the clown. They birthed the Bat too. Think about the timeline. Bruce Wayne returns to Gotham after years of training. He fights crime for months, as just a man in black, effective but not legendary, not feared. Then he decides he needs a symbol, something to strike terror into criminal hearts. That same night, across town, a comedian falls into chemicals, becomes something new, something impossible, and suddenly Bruce knows exactly what symbol he needs. The Bat, the creature of nightmares, the opposite of the laughing clown. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe. Intuition, the order, and the chaos. The straight man, and the comic. The detective, and the anarchist. Two forces to balance the scales of a city gone mad. Joker himself has said it. You complete me, not as a joke, but as gospel truth. He needs Batman to appreciate his work, to understand the artistry, to be the audience for his greatest performance. What is a comedian without someone to laugh at the jokes? What is chaos without someone trying to create order. What is the punchline without setup? Their first meeting set the template for everything after. Joker committed a crime so elaborate it could only be meant for someone special. Batman investigated. They clashed. Neither won completely. Both walked away, changed. Since then they have fought hundreds of times. Each encounter a dance they both know by heart. Joker attacks. Batman stops him. Joker goes to Arkham. Joker escapes. Repeat forever. Neither one breaks the pattern. Neither one ends it permanently, because ending it means losing themselves. Batman could kill Joker, has had 1,000 chances. One snap of the neck and Gotham is free. But he never does. Says it is about principles, about not crossing the line, about staying better than the monsters he fights. All true, all real, but also incomplete. The truth is Batman needs that line, needs to know where it is, needs to stand on the edge and not fall. Joker is the test, the temptation, the devil on his shoulder whispering, just this once. And every time Batman refuses, he proves something to himself, that he is not like them, that control matters, that rules have meaning. Joker makes Batman Batman. From Joker's perspective, Batman is the greatest gift existence ever gave him. A detective who can follow his clues, a fighter who can survive his traps, a mind that can appreciate the complexity of his schemes. And Joker does not want to kill Batman. He wants to corrupt him, to prove they are the same under the masks, to show that the only difference between them is one bad day that has not happened yet. The death of the family storyline proved this. Joker disappeared for a year, cut off his own face, came back wearing it like a mask, attacked everyone Batman loved, not to kill them, to free Batman from them. He thought he was helping, though he was removing distractions, thought Batman would thank him for eliminating the weakness of human connection. Look at us now, just you and me, the way it is supposed to be, forever. Batman rejected it, chose his family, chose connection over isolation, and Joker felt betrayed, hurt even, because Batman was supposed to understand, was supposed to see they were better than everyone else. The endgame story took it further. Joker released a new toxin in Gotham, made everyone laugh and rage and destroy, turned the city into a reflection of his mind, then told Batman this was always the plan, not to destroy Gotham, to force Batman to choose, save the city or stop Joker. Cannot do both. Not this time. What matters more, your mission or our game? Batman chose both. Of course he did. Found a way to cure the city and confront Joker. They fought in a cave, surrounded by prehistoric darkness, just two men and their history. The cave collapsed. They fell together. Batman woke up in the hospital. Joker was gone. Presumed dead, but never confirmed, because death does not stick to Joker. Not really. He always comes back. The joke always continues. Some say Joker knows Batman's identity, has known for years. Bruce Wayne is not hard to figure out for someone who studies obsession, the timing, the resources, the psychological profile. It all points to the orphan billionaire. But Joker does not care. The man under the mask is irrelevant. He fell in love with the symbol, the idea, the Batman. Learning he is Bruce Wayne would ruin the fun, make it too human, too small. Better to keep the mystery. Better to fight the legend. Better to dance with the myth. They have saved each other as many times as they fought. Batman pulled Joker from certain death. Joker warned Batman about larger threats, strange bedfellows in a stranger city. The question that haunts Batman late at night is simple. What happens when one of them finally dies for real? Does the other one follow? Does the game end, or does it just change? Would Batman retire if Joker died? Would the mission have meaning without his greatest test? Would Gotham even need Batman without Joker to justify the madness? Would Joker even exist without Batman to perform for? Would the jokes land in an empty room? Would chaos matter if nobody tried to stop it? They are locked together like binary stars, orbiting each other. Fourth, gravity too strong to escape. Eventually, binary stars collide, become something new, or destroy each other completely. Batman and Joker are heading for that collision, have been since the night they met. Every encounter brings it closer. Every fight tightens the spiral. One day they will meet for the last time. One day the joke will end. One day the game will be over, and Gotham will finally know what happens when you remove half of an equation. Does the other half solve itself, or does the whole thing collapse? For now they dance. Predator and prey, hero and villain, order and chaos. Neither willing to break the pattern, neither is able to imagine life without the other. The punchline is simple. They are the same person wearing different masks, both orphaned by violence, both broken by Gotham, both choose elaborate costumes to deal with trauma. One chose the bat, one chose the smile. But under it all, they are brothers in pain, twins separated at birth by a single choice: to build from the ashes or to burn in them. Joker sees this. Embrace it. Celebrate it. Batman denies it. Fight it. I fear it. But on quiet nights when the city sleeps, he wonders. He always wonders. How close am I to the edge? How thin is the line? How many more deaths before I snap? How many more Jokers before I become one? The questions have no answers, only echoes, only that permanent smile in his nightmares, only the sound of laughter that never quite fades. You complete me. 3 words that haunt Batman more than any threat, because somewhere, deep down in the cave of his mind, he knows they are true. What if Joker cannot die? What if death is just another joke he refuses to get? What if the man who fell into chemicals that night became something more than human, something eternal? The Dionysium theory suggests exactly that. An ancient chemical compound hidden in Gotham's bones since before civilization, a substance that grants immortality at the cost of sanity. Some say the Court of Owls hoarded it for centuries, used it to keep their talons alive and killing. But what if Joker found it first? What if his dip in ace chemicals was not random? What if he was drawn there by something older than memory, something that recognized a perfect host? Evidence exists in old photographs. A man with a white face and red smile appearing throughout Gotham history. The Pale Man, they called him in the 1800s. A street performer who killed for entertainment. Disappeared before authorities could catch him. Showed up decades later, unchanged. Same in the 1920s, during Prohibition. A gangster known for his sick sense of humor, murdered rivals in elaborate ways, left calling cards with smiling faces, vanished into legend. The 1950s had reports of a comedian who drove audiences to madness. His jokes infected minds like disease. People who heard him perform never recovered, laughed themselves into asylums. The comedian was never found. Different eras, different names, same smile, same chaos, same impossible survival. Batman investigated this once, found the pattern, traced it back centuries, discovered something terrifying. Either multiple people became Joker independently across time, or one Joker has been killing in Gotham for over 200 years. The Mobius chair confirmed multiple truths existing simultaneously. 3 Jokers, all real. But what if they are the same person at different points in his immortal timeline? Past, present, and future collapsed into now. What if Joker exists outside normal time, a fixed point in Gotham's story? Always here, always laughing, always one step ahead, because he already lived through this moment 100 times before. The Court of Owls feared him for this reason. Their immortal assassins could be controlled, could be aimed, could be understood. But Joker was chaos given flesh, immortality without purpose or pattern, a weapon that chose its own targets. They tried to recruit him once, offered him a place in their organization, resources, power, protection. He laughed in their faces, killed 3 Talons with a pencil and a party favor, told them chaos serves no master. Then there is the theory. Joker knows more than he should, knows secrets about Gotham that should be lost to time, knows about the demon beneath the city, knows about the magical ley lines, knows about the curse that makes Gotham attract darkness like a magnet. He drops hints sometimes, references events he should not remember, mentions people long dead as if he knew them personally, describes Gotham streets that were paved over decades before his supposed birth. Batman noticed, built a file on it, locked it in the deepest part of the Batcave. Because if Joker truly is immortal, then everything changes. You cannot defeat something that cannot die, cannot imprison something that has escaped 1,000 times across centuries, cannot end something that has no end. The question of Batman's identity adds another layer. Does Joker know Bruce Wayne is Batman? The evidence suggests yes and no simultaneously. He knows and chooses not to know. Schrodinger's secret. There are moments where Joker looks at Bruce Wayne and the recognition is clear. A smile that says, "I see you. I know you. I have always known you." But he never acts on it, never reveals it, never breaks that particular seal. Some think he knew from the beginning, figured it out during their first encounter. The fighting style, the technology, the psychological profile, all pointing to one man, one orphan with infinite resources and a death wish dressed as justice. But knowing ruins the game, makes Batman human, makes him vulnerable, makes him boring. Better to pretend ignorance, better to fight the symbol, better to preserve the mystery that makes the dance worthwhile. Other times Joker seems genuinely surprised by connections to Bruce Wayne, as if the idea never occurred to him, as if the billionaire and the Bat exist in separate universes that never touch, as if his madness truly cannot make that logical leap. Truth is probably both. His super sanity allows him to know and not know, to hold contradictory facts as equally true, to exist in quantum uncertainty until observation forces a choice. He knows when it serves the joke, forgets when ignorance is funnier. Reality bends to the punchline, always has, always will. Their final battle has been prophesied in dozens of timelines, different versions, different outcomes, all equally true in the multiverse of possibility. In one they kill each other, fall from a building locked in final embrace, die together because living apart makes no sense. In another, Batman finally crosses the line, snaps Joker's neck, becomes the very thing he fought against. Gotham gains peace, but loses its hero, because the hero died the moment he killed. In a third timeline, Joker wins completely, breaks Batman so thoroughly that Bruce Wayne ceases to exist. The cowl is empty, The cave is silent, and Joker rules Gotham as its laughing king. But victory tastes like ashes because nobody is left to appreciate the joke. In the strangest timeline, they team up. Some greater threat forces cooperation. They fight side by side, and for one brief moment, the dance changes rhythm, becomes something new, something almost beautiful. Then the threat ends, and they return to their roles. But both remember, both wonder, what if? The Killing Joke presented their most honest ending. After a night of horror and revelation, they stand in the rain. Joker tells a joke about two lunatics escaping an asylum. One jumps across rooftops. The other is too afraid. The first offers to shine a flashlight across the gap so the second can walk the beam. The second lunatic laughs, says he is not stupid enough to try. His friend will just turn off the light halfway across. Joker laughs at his own story. Batman joins him. For just a moment, they laugh together. Two madmen in the rain understand each other completely. Then the laughter stops. The light goes out, and the comic ends in ambiguity. Did Batman kill him? Did they walk away? Does it matter? The joke works either way. Remember, every ending is real. Every possibility exists. Joker would prefer it that way. Why settle for one conclusion when you can have them all? Why end the joke when the setup keeps paying off? He has escaped death. So many times it became routine. Shot, stabbed, poisoned, burned, drowned, electrocuted. Each time declared dead. Each time returning with a new scheme and that same old smile. Maybe he really is immortal. Maybe he just refuses to accept death as an option. Maybe his insanity is so complete that reality itself cannot kill him, cannot process an end to something that exists outside normal rules. Or maybe he is exactly what he appears. A man who got lucky too many times. A madman protected by narrative necessity. A character who cannot die because the story needs him alive. Batman has contingency plans for if Joker ever dies permanently, locked away in the cave. Protocols for how to handle a Gotham without its greatest monster. Plans that account for the void his absence would create. Because nature abhors a vacuum. Remove the Joker and something worse might take his place. Something without humor, without style, without the strange moral code that keeps Joker from being truly unstoppable. Better the devil you know. Better the dance you understand. Better the chaos that at least has rules even if nobody knows what they are. So Batman prepares for an ending he secretly hopes never comes. And Joker plans jokes that assume infinite tomorrows, and Gotham spins between them waiting to see which force wins. Order or chaos. Batman or Joker. The eternal question with no permanent answer. Just rounds in a fight that never ends. Just moves in a game where the rules change daily. Just another night in a city that belongs to both of them. What is the joke? That there is no ending, that the finale is just another setup, that the punchline leads directly into the next joke, forever and ever and ever, until Gotham itself falls, until the last light goes out, until reality runs out of patience with both of them. Even then, Joker would probably find a way back, find a new city, find a new Batman, start the whole thing over. Because the joke is not about winning, the joke is about playing, and Joker never stops playing. He is still out there, right now, planning something, laughing about something, existing as proof that chaos always finds a way, and somewhere in the shadows, Batman is watching, preparing, knowing the call will come again, knowing the dance will resume, knowing he will answer, because he has to, because he wants to, because Joker is right about one thing. They complete each other, and that is the scariest joke of all. Joker toxin is not just a chemical weapon. It is a philosophy made manifest, a worldview that infects contact, an idea that spreads like plague through the susceptible mind. The original formula came from those chemicals at Ace. Joker refined it over years, weaponized his own transformation, bottled the moment of his rebirth, and learned to share it. Early versions just made people laugh. A simple neurotoxin that triggered uncontrollable mirth. Victims died smiling. Terrible, but straightforward. Chemical comedy with a body count. But Joker kept improving it. Each iteration is more complex. Each version targets different aspects of sanity. By the 10th generation, the toxin did not just affect muscles, it rewired minds. People exposed to advanced Joker toxin do not just laugh, they understand. They see what he sees. The cosmic joke, the beautiful meaninglessness, the freedom that comes from accepting chaos. Some victims recover physically, but never mentally. They walk around after treatment with Joker's worldview embedded in their thoughts. Functional members of society who secretly believe everything is pointless, who wait for their moment to cut the strings, who carry the virus dormant until stress activates it. Gotham has thousands of people like this. Joker toxin survivors who seem normal, who hold jobs and raise families and pay taxes. But under the surface, they are changed, infected, waiting. Batman cannot cure them, cannot undo the philosophical damage, can only watch and hope they never break completely, can only add them to the list of casualties. Another victory for the clown prince that looks like defeat. Then there are the true believers. People who sought out Joker toxin willingly, who wanted to see what he sees, who chose madness over sanity because sanity felt like prison. They form cults around Gotham. Small groups at first, meeting in basements and abandoned theaters, huffing diluted toxin, laughing together, planning minor chaos, trying to be like him. The Joker's gang took it furthest. Started in the future timeline of Batman Beyond. A whole generation, inspired by the Clown Prince's legend, they wear his face, mimic his crimes, spread his gospel to a Gotham that thought it moved past him. Proof that Joker is bigger than one man, bigger than flesh and bone, an idea that reproduces. A meme in the original sense, a thought pattern that hijacks brains and replicates itself. And the present Joker has direct followers too. Goggy was the first. A dwarf who worshipped the ground Joker walked on, helped with schemes, took abuse with a smile. Devoted completely to chaos incarnate. Punchline came later. A college student who saw Joker's philosophy and recognized the truth. Not infected by toxins. Not manipulated by charm. Just convinced rationally that he was right. That the world is a joke. That burning it down is the only sane response. She became his partner in the Joker War storyline. Not a sidekick. An equal. Someone who understood the mission, without needing explanation. Harley with education and purpose. Harley without the emotional dependency. More dangerous in some ways, because her devotion came from agreement, not addiction. You can cure addiction. You cannot cure someone who looked at the evidence and chose chaos. The Joker War itself showed how far the infection spread. He stole Bruce Wayne's fortune, used it to arm Gotham's criminals, gave them all resources and targets, turned the entire city into his own personal comedy club. For weeks, Gotham descended into orchestrated madness. Every district is claimed by a different gang. Every street is a stage for violent theater. Every citizen is either a victim or participant. The line blurred until nobody knew which side they were on. Batman stopped it eventually, reclaimed his money, restored order. But the point was made. Given the right resources, Joker could turn Gotham into himself, could infect the whole city with his madness, could prove that civilization is one push away from collapse. People remembered how it felt. That freedom, that terror, that exhilaration of rules disappearing. Some missed it, some wanted it back. The virus spread without chemicals. Just memory, just temptation. Arkham Asylum became Joker's kingdom long ago. He escapes so often they barely bother with high security anymore. The guards know him. The doctors fear him. The other inmates worship or hate him. No middle ground. He holds court there, tells stories, share wisdom, corrupt the corrupted. New villains arrive scared and angry, leave as believers, leave understanding that crime is not about profit. Crime is art. Crime is freedom. Crime is the only honest response to a dishonest world. Two-Face listens to him. So does Scarecrow. So does Mad Hatter. Each influenced me. Each changed. Each carrying a piece of Joker philosophy in their own twisted missions. Even Batman's rogues gallery became more theatrical after Joker, more performative, more obsessed with style over substance. He set the template. Everyone else just followed. The Legion of Doom wanted him. Whoever membership offered resources, offered a seat at the table with other master criminals. He refused. Legion implies organization, hierarchy, rules. Joker serves only chaos, cannot be controlled, cannot be aimed, cannot be trusted not to kill his own allies for the joke. But he shows up sometimes, and suits him when the plan is big enough. When the target is worthy, he works alongside Lex Luthor and Gorilla Grodd and Sinestro for a moment, for an hour, then betrays them, of course, always. Betrayal is his nature. During crisis events, Joker is uniquely dangerous. Reality breaking down, multiverses colliding, rules dissolving. His natural habitat, he thrives in cosmic chaos, becomes more powerful when existence itself comes unglued. The Anti-Monitor destroyed universes. Joker just laughed. What is the death of reality compared to the death of meaning? What is the end of everything compared to the joke of anything existing at all? He survived erasure, survived reboots, survived retcons, because he exists in the space between story and reality, a character aware of his own narrative nature, breaking the fourth wall, winking at the audience, knowing he is fiction and not caring, using it. New versions of him appear in different timelines. Each is unique, each valid. The Joker of Earth 2, the Joker of Flashpoint, the Joker of Injustice. Each one proving the concept spreads across dimensions. Not a man, a constant, a universal element, like gravity or entropy. Every reality needs its chaos engine. Every universe births its laughing devil. The face changes. The methods evolve. The core remains. Joker, toxin in gaseous form, hangs over Gotham like smog. Decades of exposure. Low level. Chronic. Everyone in the city has traces in their blood. Everyone in Gotham is slightly infected. Slightly changed. Slightly more willing to accept madness as normal. Maybe that is why Batman never leaves. He is infected too. Addicted to the fight. Unable to imagine existence without the game. Joker toxin in his lungs, making him believe this is necessary. This is meaningful. This matters. The city laughs with Joker every night. In comedy clubs, in bars, in homes where people watch the news and joke about the latest villain attack, gallows, humor as cultural norm, finding comedy in tragedy, laughing because crying means the Joker won. Except he already won. The moment Gotham started laughing at its own pain, the moment citizens made memes about their trauma, the moment survival meant finding the humor in horror, Joker created a city in his image, a place where sanity is performance, where madness is honesty, where the only reasonable response to existence is a smile. The infection is complete, has been for years. Gotham is Joker's greatest achievement, not his crimes, not his body count, but the city itself, a monument to chaos, a temple to meaninglessness, a billion people living the philosophy he represents, and they do not even know they are infected, do not even realize they carry the virus, just keep laughing, keep surviving, keep pretending this is normal. While somewhere in the shadows the clown prince of crime watches his masterpiece, his magnum opus, his joke made flesh and concrete and suffering. Gotham the punchline, Gotham the victim, Gotham the accomplice. All of them, always. Arkham Asylum was never designed to hold Joker. It was designed to study him, to understand him, to maybe cure him. All failed missions from day one. The building itself seems to warp around his presence. Cameras malfunction, locks fail. Guards forget protocols, as if the architecture recognizes its true master and bends accordingly. He has been a patient there hundreds of times, knows every cell, every hallway, every secret passage, every weakness. Arkham is not his prison, it is his home base, his castle, his kingdom of the mad. Other inmates recognize the hierarchy. When Joker walks the halls, conversations stop, eyes follow, some in fear, some in reverence, all in acknowledgement. The king is present, show respect, or become the joke. He does not rule through violence alone, though he is capable of extreme brutality when needed. Mostly he rules through charisma, through storytelling, through making the other villains believe he understands them better than anyone else. Scarecrow sees him as an equal, both obsessed with fear, both using psychology as a weapon. They share theories late at night, discuss the nature of terror, debate whether fear or laughter cuts deeper. Professional courtesy between artists. Two-Face respects the chaos, the randomness, the coin that decides everything. Joker convinced him long ago that duality is just another word for freedom, that being two people means never being trapped as one, that Harvey Dent died so Two-Face could be honest. Riddler hates him, jealousy mostly. Both want Batman's attention, both use elaborate schemes. But Joker gets the obsession, gets the history, gets the connection Riddler craves but will never achieve. That hatred is its own form of respect, acknowledgement of superiority. Penguin avoids him. Too unpredictable for business, too dangerous for alliances, but pays tribute anyway. Information, resources, whatever keeps Joker from targeting his operations. A tax paid to chaos, to keep it pointed elsewhere. Mad Hatter follows him like a puppy, sees Joker as Alice, the one who makes Wonderland real, the proof that reality is negotiable, that madness is not sickness, but clarity, that the world is exactly as insane as they always suspected. Poison Ivy tolerates him, barely. He hurt Harley too many times. She can never forgive that. But she recognizes his power, his influence, his ability to make plants grow in strange ways when he passes, as if nature itself responds to pure chaos. Killer Croc respects strength, Joker has no physical power, but survived things that would kill Croc 10 times over. Walked away from death repeatedly. That earns acknowledgement in the animal kingdom. That marks him as apex predator despite appearance. Clayface sees him as inspiration. Both performers at heart. Both wearing faces that are not their own. Both understanding that identity is just a role we play until the curtain falls. They share the stage. They understand the show. Mr. Freeze is immune to charm. Cannot be manipulated by someone who loves chaos when Freeze only loves order. Only loves his frozen wife. Only loves the cold precision of revenge. But even Freeze gives Joker space. Recognizes danger. Chooses battles carefully. Bane tested him once. Thought strength would win. Thought tactics would prevail. Joker poisoned him with a toxin that made Bane laugh while his venom tubes injected agony. Taught him that power means nothing against someone who controls the mind. Bane never challenged again. The Legion of Doom meetings always shift when Joker attends. Lex Luthor tries to maintain control. Tries to stick to the agenda, but Joker derails everything. Turns strategy sessions into philosophy debates. Makes the other villains question their own motivations. Why do you hate Superman? Joker asks Lex. Because he is better than you. Because he reminds you that all your intelligence and wealth cannot buy what he has naturally. Because he is the joke and you are desperate not to be the punchline. Lex hates that Joker sees through him. Hates that the madman speaks truth, disguised as rambling. Hates that everyone listens when Joker talks even when nothing he says makes tactical sense. Gorilla Grodd respects the mind games. Both understand that real power is psychological. Both know that controlling thoughts controls everything. But Grodd uses telepathy. Joker uses something subtler. Something Grodd's powers cannot touch. The infection of ideas. Black Manta once asked Joker why he does not just kill Batman. You have the chances. You have the tools. Just end it. Joker laughed for 5 minutes straight. Then explained, killing Batman would be killing myself. Ending the joke before the punchline. Winning a game I want to keep playing. Where is the fun in that? Manta walked away more confused than before. Which was the point. Joker's greatest power is making sanity seem insane. Making normal questions feel stupid. Making everyone else doubt their own logic. During the Injustice timeline, when Superman turned dictator. When heroes became tyrants. When the world fell under authoritarian control. Joker watched from Arkham and smiled. He caused it all. Tricked Superman into killing Lois Lane and their unborn child. Nuked Metropolis. Broke the Boy Scout completely. Turned the greatest hero into the greatest villain. Then Superman killed Joker. Punch through the chest. Instant death. Finally, the Clown Prince fell. Except he won, even in death. Especially in death. Proved his point completely. That anyone can break. That heroes are one bad day from becoming villains. That the only difference between Superman and Joker is circumstances. His death created the dystopia. His absence made it worse, because at least when Joker was alive, he was predictable in his unpredictability. His chaos had style, had humor, had limits he chose not to cross, because crossing them would end the game. Superman's tyranny had no humor, no style, no limits. Just brutal order enforced with godlike power. Turned out, chaos was better than that. The devil you know and all. And Death Joker influenced more than in life. His ghost haunted every decision. His philosophy infected the resistance. His methods were studied and copied. Harley carried his legacy. Batman remembered his warnings. Proof that Joker is bigger than biology. Bigger than one lifetime. An idea that survives the death of its host. A virus that spreads beyond the original carrier. When Joker returned later through magic and manipulation and comic book nonsense, everyone treated him differently. He died and came back. That elevates status. That makes him something more than villain. Something approaching myth. The other villains know this. Know that Joker operates on a different level, plays a different game, cares about different prizes, cannot be understood using normal criminal psychology because he transcends those categories. He is not a criminal. He is chaos wearing a purple suit. He is not insane. He is sanity's opposite. He is not evil. He is beyond good and evil, existing in the space where morality dissolves and only the joke remains. His court in Arkham grows every year. New inmates arrive, already knowing his legend, already influenced by his philosophy, already half converted before they meet him. He holds sessions in the rec room, informal therapy where the patient plays doctor, listens to their problems, offers solutions, suggests that maybe their compulsions are not sickness but clarity, that maybe the world is wrong and they are right. Most ignore him, hold on to their own delusions, but some listen, some convert, some leave Arkham, more dangerous than they entered. Not because of their original pathology, because of exposure to Joker's worldview. The guards cannot stop it, cannot prevent conversation, cannot isolate him completely. He always finds a way to spread, to infect, to convert. Arkham's recidivism rate correlates with Joker's presence. When he is there longer, the other inmates leave more dangerous, more philosophical about their crimes, more convinced they are right. Studies exist, locked in filing cabinets, proof that proximity to Joker changes people, makes them think differently, makes sanity feel like the real prison. But nothing changes. He keeps coming back. They keep housing him. The cycle continues. Because what else can they do? Execute him. Batman would never allow it. Release him. Gotham would burn, isolate him completely. He escapes anyway. So Arkham remains his kingdom, his stage, his university of madness, where he teaches classes nobody signed up for, where graduation means understanding the joke, where the only degree offered is in chaos theory. And the other villains pay attention, learn lessons, absorb philosophy, carry pieces of him into the world, making Joker not one man, but a movement, not one criminal, but a contagion, not one laugh, but a symphony. His court expands beyond Arkham walls, into Gotham streets, into other cities, into the hearts of everyone who ever wondered if maybe the madman has a point. What if nothing matters? What if rules are arbitrary? What if the only freedom is letting go? Dangerous questions, infectious questions, questions that spread like his toxin through susceptible minds. The Clown Prince does not need an army, does not need soldiers, just needs people asking questions, just needs doubt planted, just needs the seed of chaos germinating in fertile soil. His court is everyone who ever laughed at tragedy, everyone who ever found humor in horror, everyone who ever suspected the universe is one big joke. And the court grows every day. But here is the thing about jokes. They only work if someone believes the setup, only land if the audience accepts the premise, only matter if anyone is listening. So let me tell you a secret, a confession, a truth hidden in 2.5 hours of storytelling. You have been listening to a madman all along. Every origin story, every motivation, every piece of philosophy, all filtered through the lens of someone who sees the world through shattered glass, who tells stories that change with each telling, who might be lying, who might believe the lies, who might not know the difference anymore. What if none of this is real? What if Joker never had a wife, never worked as a comedian, never fell into chemicals? What if he just appeared one day, fully formed, a thought, given flesh, a punchline, searching for setup? What if there are no 3 Jokers, or 100 Jokers, or no Jokers at all? Just stories we tell about chaos, trying to give it shape, trying to make it comprehensible, trying to find meaning in the meaningless. What if he is not immortal, not infected by ancient chemicals, not connected to cosmic forces, just lucky, just persistent, just refusing to die, because dying would end the joke? What if the relationship with Batman is not cosmic destiny, not psychological necessity, not eternal dance, just 2 damaged men trapped in repetition, unable to stop, unable to change, unable to imagine anything else? What if Harley Quinn was never in love, never manipulated, never broken, just saw an opportunity, just chose chaos freely, just wanted to be part of something bigger than herself, and regretted it, and grew past it, and became her own person? What if every crime was not philosophical statement, not performance art, not message to society, just violence, just cruelty, just a broken man breaking others because he cannot fix himself? What if Joker is exactly what he appears to be? A criminal, a killer, a monster. No deeper meaning, no grand design, no cosmic significance. Just a man in makeup who murders people and laughs about it. That is the Mobius strip, the infinite loop, the paradox. Joker is profound because we make him profound, meaningful because we search for meaning, important because we give him importance. Strip away the analysis, remove the philosophy, take out the literary criticism. What remains? A villain, a simple antagonist for a simple hero, in a simple story about good versus evil. But we cannot leave it there, cannot accept simplicity, have to dig deeper, have to find layers, have to make it mean something. Because if Joker is just random violence, then the universe is random violence. If he has no purpose, then nothing has purpose. If his chaos has no meaning, then existence has no meaning. We build him up to tear the building down. We make him complex to prove complexity matters. We give him depth to justify the depths we are willing to explore. Carl Jung talked about the shadow, the dark parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, the impulses we suppress, the thoughts we deny. Joker embodies that shadow, becomes the repository for everything we refuse to be. We laugh when he laughs, because part of us wants to laugh at suffering. We are horrified by his actions, because part of us wonders what it would feel like. We study him endlessly, because studying him means not studying ourselves. He is the mirror we hold up to humanity, showing us what we could be if we stopped pretending, stopped following rules, stopped caring about consequences. And that reflection terrifies us, because it looks familiar, because it smiles like we do, because it speaks truths we spend lifetimes denying. Maybe Joker is not a person at all. Maybe he is a thought experiment, a philosophical question, a test of our own sanity. If chaos exists, what do we do with it? If randomness is real, how do we respond? If meaning is invented, not discovered, What do we believe? Joker asks these questions by existing, by laughing, by killing, by refusing to make sense. And we try to answer by analyzing him, by explaining him, by writing 2.5-hour essays about him. But here is the final joke, the last laugh, the punchline we keep missing. There is no answer. Never was. Never will be. The question is the point. The search is the meaning. The attempt to understand chaos is how we prove we are not chaotic. Joker wins by making us play the game, by making us think, by making us question, by making us spend hours trying to figure him out, while he sits in Arkham, or escapes from Arkham, or burns down Arkham, laughing at everyone trying to solve the puzzle. Because he is not a puzzle. He is the proof that some things cannot be solved, that randomness exists, that chaos is real, that the universe does not owe us explanations. We want Batman to represent order, to prove that justice prevails, to show that good wins. We want Joker to represent chaos, to challenge that order, to test those beliefs. But what if they are both just characters in a story, just drawings on a page, just actors reading lines, just constructs we invented to process trauma? What if none of it is real? What if all of it is real? What if the line between fiction and reality is thinner than we think? What if Joker exists because we need him to exist? Because without him we have to confront actual chaos, actual randomness, actual meaninglessness. Better to have a character who embodies those things, someone we can point to and say, that is chaos over there. I am safe over here. I am different. I am sane. But late at night, in quiet moments, when defenses drop and truth creeps in, we wonder, how different am I really? How far from that edge? How many bad days away from my own chemical vat? Joker plants that doubt, nurtures it, watches it grow. That is his real toxin, not the chemicals, the questions. And questions are more infectious than any disease, more persistent than any virus, more dangerous than any weapon, because questions spread, replicate, mutate, become new questions, lead to doubt, lead to uncertainty, lead to the space where Joker lives. That space between knowing and wondering, between sanity and madness, between the joke and the punchline. You have been in that space for 2.5 hours now, listening to stories about a clown, trying to understand something that might not be understandable. Was any of it true? Does it matter? Did you learn something? Did you just waste time? Are you different now? Are you the same? The questions multiply. The answers hide. The laughter echoes. Somewhere Joker is smiling. Not because he won, not because he lost, because the game continues, because people keep playing, because the joke keeps working. That is the last laugh. Not his, yours, ours. The collective nervous giggle of humanity trying to make sense of senselessness. We are all part of the joke now. All players in the game, all audience to the greatest comedy ever told. The comedy of existence, the humor of consciousness, the absurdity of meaning in a meaningless universe. Joker just pointed it out, just turned on the lights, just showed us what was always there. And now we cannot unsee it, cannot unknow it, and see it, cannot unknow it, cannot go back to comfortable ignorance. We are infected, all of us. Some more than others, but all touched by the question, why so serious? 3 words, infinite implications, eternal echo, the setup and the punchline, the question and the answer, the beginning and the end. all rolled into one permanent smile, one lasting legacy, one joke that never stops being told. Because that is the thing about jokes. The best ones stick. The best ones outlive the comedian. And this joke, this beautiful, terrible, horrible, wonderful joke, will outlive us all. Silence. Complete and total silence. No rain, no laughter, no music. Just the space where sound used to be. 10 seconds of nothing. Here's a wonderful. Letting the echoes fade. Letting the story settle. Letting your thoughts catch up to what you just heard. Then softly, almost too soft to hear, a music box begins to play. A children's lullaby, twisted slightly wrong. Notes that should be comforting, but they are not quite right. The melody circles, repeat, distorts, like a memory of something innocent, corrupted by time, by exposure, by knowledge. The music box winds down, slow, stops. One last mechanical click. Then text fades in against the darkness. Sweet dreams. 2 words. Simple, gentle, sinister. A promise, a threat, a goodbye. The credits begin to roll. Names scrolling past. Contributions acknowledged. Work recognized. But underneath the credits, hidden in the silence, a sound, barely audible. An ECG monitor, a heartbeat, a flat line. Beep, 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 beep. Death, clinical, final, official. The flat line holds, extends, continues. Then slowly, impossibly, the line begins to curve, up on one side, down on the other. The flat line becomes a wave. The wave becomes a shape. The shape becomes a smile. The permanent smile on a medical monitor. Death itself grinning. The monitor fades. The credits end. The screen goes black. And somewhere in that darkness, quiet as a whisper, soft as a sigh, inevitable mourning. One last sound. Laughter.